Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another day of building EV on a windy West Row day. The swans are in the background. This is well, I wasn't going to make this video because I'm making some temporary shelves, and so didn't really. But anyway, once I'd started, then I decided that I would make the video. So the first bit is me explaining what I've already done. Somewhat unusual. Don't normally explain things on video, do I? Anyway, have at it. These are some temporary shelves. So, I'm making some shelves that will be just have some edges like that, and then this bit will go on top. So there will be a piece there and a piece there, which means then that the shelves that will go in the middle need to be that wide minus the width of two pieces of board, because these bits will be outside those, whereas they will be directly underneath those. So what I did was I put a stop block there, cut that piece to length, and then I put in two bits of wood. And that then enabled me to cut that piece in exactly the right place, which is the shelves, and these will be some internal supports that need to be similarly as wide as these. So they were chopped like that as well. So despite these being just sort of temporary quick and dirty shelves, then I still decided to wax them, and this is just me buffing them off. And then I got out my socket pocket hole jig. Not quite the same thing as my socket hole jig that you might remember I made way back when, but this is currently set up for 19mm because that's what I've used it on only. And these are the braces going across the back, so they are 19mm. As you can see, I'm using offcuts of different things that have been used for other things before. One of them was labelled up. But having done those 19mm ones, this is what that looks like, 19mm. But putting a 12mm piece of board, you can see that it would end up going all the way through to the back. So you end up having to drop the where the hole goes through. Not quite sure what you'd call it anyway. Drop the angled hole guide so that it then is hitting them when it comes. That bit that comes out at the bottom is just at the middle, but you can see that up at the top. Then I've still got to adjust the depth of the drill bit so that it doesn't try and wreck the jig completely. I have sort of drilled into the jig a bit before, but all seems to be okay. Despite these being somewhat temporary, then I decided that I still wanted to kind of choose the best sides and what have you for whatever was going to be visible. So I just went through, had a look, and marked up which sides I was going to be drilling, put a mark approximately wherever I was going to be putting a hole. I tried to attach the extraction hose. The jig works a lot better with the extraction hose. That wasn't very good. I decided I needed to improve that. That was just Brad deciding that he needed to get in on the video. Actually, I don't think I consulted him at all on this, which is fairly unusual. But like I say, I'm just doing these for temporary measure. You can see that I was using some little offcuts to kind of bring up the side of the shelf to the same height as the jig is in the middle there. And then I thought that it would be a good idea these are the braces, they're 19mm, so I've got to adjust them, adjust the jig back to 19mm. But I decided it would be a useful idea to put just a hole or two in the middle of these to give the shells some extra rigidity. I mean, they are only 12mm, so they're not very stable. As you can see, the jig sort of produces this little, well, tear out, I guess it is, on the edge. I maybe if the drill was a bit sharper or higher quality or whatever, but I bought the cheapest kind of good jig that I can find. You can get other jigs that sort of clamp on to the you clamp them onto the bit of wood that you're dealing with, but they're really awkward to use. I had one, and well, I essentially gave up on it. But having got everything tidied up, then I was ready to put the things together. So I was using the offcuts there just in lieu of the sides because it was easier whilst I was just doing that. Sometimes when screwing these in, then it can be because the screw's at an angle, it can push everything off a little bit. So I was just using the clamp on this just to hold everything where it should be, because, well, it was proving awkward to hold everything in the right place just on my own. I guess if there was somebody else around or whatever, then that would have done the job. But I was just doing these quickly. I think I got these done in half a day or whatever in total. So that was quite good for me. Less thinking time and more doing time. Somewhat unusual. This is I guess this is the bottom shelf. Yeah. So I had to bring this in because I didn't want it right at the back, because otherwise it would interfere with the skirting boards or radiators, depending on what you want to call them. So having put this in the right place, then that's all good. Get those screws in. You do use special screws with the pocket holes, and these were the shortest ones that I had. And then I realised that I put the top brace in the front of the shelves rather than the back of the shelves. So I replaced that. Then I was just working out where to put the shelf, and you saw that I measured the tool bag that it's designed to accommodate. I made some little spaces because that was easier, and then bring it inside, and again, some I don't know, I guess I'm quite surprised that wasn't right, but it wasn't, and surprise, I made a second one. So there we go. They're done, and as you can see, they work. They're kind of fit for purpose. They're pretty stable, not overly stable, but they need to be. I'll try and put something in up there showing you all the bits that don't work. The screws are a bit long, etc. And and like I say, I made a second one because it was, once I was doing one, then pretty much they're made of what I consider offcuts, really. So I thought it'd be useful to have a second set of shelves, and indeed that has proved useful. The rest of the floor is now tidy, so that's good. It's provided me some space, which was what I wanted, and they're not going to last forever. They're bad enough that they will be taken away. If they were any better, then they'd be okay, and they'd last far too long. Anyway, take care, everybody. Bye bye.